We got to do another cemetery video.
Darn.
I think this time we do the one we drive by about 5-10 times a week.
A day?
A day. Yeah. Well, hello there, parapeeps, and welcome to another episode of Our Haunted Travels. I'm your host, Sean Donnelly.
I'm your co-host, Marianne Donnelly.
In this video, we are going to talk about Calvary Cemetery in Youngstown, Ohio.
All right.
Very close to where we live.
It is.
But before we get into that, if you're into the paranormal, history, forensic, and travel type videos,
don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ding that little bell so you'll hear from us next time we post a new video.
That's right, Calvary Cemetery. Oh, how many times have we been here? Oh, several.
A lot. I've been here a lot in my lifetime.
Yeah. The last time we were here was just this Memorial Day. And actually, we've got a little clip to share with you. So watch this. Yep, it was Memorial Day. They were doing a little ceremony.
Yes, they
as
were.
we pulled in. But that place was hopping though too when we were there, right?
Yes, there were a lot of people there tending to graves, visiting people. So it was nice to see so much activity there.
All right, Calvary Cemetery. We are talking about Panic D number 1073. It's been in the database for a while.
That it has.
It's located at 248 South Belle Vista Avenue, Youngstown, Ohio.
And it is open to the public, as are most cemeteries in the area, until dusk, of course.
That's right. So as far as history, basically Calvary Cemetery was established in 1885 as the Catholic cemetery for Youngstown. And over the years, it's grown and grown and grown. I mean, it's up to, what do we just look at?
130 acres now.
130 acres with 120,000 souls.
That it is. That it is.
So this Memorial Day, we specifically went there to go to your grandparents' grave to document how to find them for future generations.
Yes.
Because they're not listed in Find a Grave.
Not yet.
The nieces and nephews probably have no idea how to get there, right? So we have a little video that, and this is for like self-documentation. So watch this real quick. We'll be right back. Okay, let's get this documented.
Okay, so if you go in and you go all the way down to like where the chapel or the crypts are, and then you
Right
turn
there.
at Mr. Fisk's grave on the corner and come down almost to the end. There's that one tree and garbage can on the end near where you could turn to leave.
Right there's the tree and garbage can that you're talking about.
I thought it was 4 or 5 back, but it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7 back. And it's right in line with Tamperino Mausoleum looking crypt there.
And there's a tree there, but that might not always be there.
Right, but Tamperino will always be there.
Tamperino will always be there.
Yeah.
And this is him, or them.
Yes. My grandpa and my grandma.
So it does say Tony, but was his name Anthony?
His name is Anthony. And like, I know that there's a thing here in the ground somewhere for flowers. It's one of those metal urns that like you pick it up and then like when you're not using it, you flip it upside down and put it in, and it's like gone. It's in the ground somewhere.
So D. Nicholas, was that her maiden name?
No, that was her third husband's name. Yeah.
Third husband.
Yeah. So Zitto was her second husband's name.
So at one time she was Nicolina D. Nicholas.
Yes. Yeah, her third husband had that added to the gravestone after she died. Because when my grandfather died, they got both headstones so that they would match.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And your brother was the one that just recently came out and cleaned these
Yes.
up.
I knew it was in like section 47. This looks like maybe it's 46. I don't know. I thought it was section 47, but the closest marker down there says section 46. So it could be 47. I don't know. But I knew I had to come up like a little hill when I was a kid. It doesn't seem very high now.
No.
Okay, now in the past, we also did a video about E.T.
We did.
Right? Mm-hmm. And E.T.'s not buried too far from your
At
grandparents.
Bilon. Yep.
Right?
Just diagonal from them.
Yeah. So we did we did a video talking about all the different areas, like where he lived, where he went to school, where he coached, and his final resting place. But we just went back and got some additional footage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the back of where my grandparents are. They're like over there. And if we just round the corner and go down, that's the way to E.T. Pat Bilon, which I remembered like it was around that area when we went to see Pat Bilon the last time. So I was close. And AT is right up along here. It's up to you.
I think he's over here close to the hedges, but about 9 back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where that single foot is.
There they are.
So his father was a veteran.
That's what it looks like.
So there was just a few over from these hedges.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, your grandparents were just like right over there on almost opposite.
Almost like diagonal.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this same section. This cemetery is huge. What are the odds?
I know. We could literally walk to my grandparents' grave from here.
One little section of this huge cemetery.
Yeah, and it's like the far side is section 46 and this side is section 47, which is interesting because when we rounded the corner up here, there was a sign that said section 47, that sign right about there.
All right, so in our books that just came out, The Mysteries of Mahoning Valley, we included some biographies in there, but we're going to cover them a little bit in this video, okay? We just talked about Pat Bilon a little bit. The next one we want to talk about is George Shotgun Shuba, which has a statue down by Calvary Center. If you're from Youngstown, you know where Calvary Center is and all that. There was a statue. Do you remember the story of Shuba?
I do, and it has absolutely nothing to do with being part of the mob.
No.
Which is kind of what his
it
name
doesn't.
would imply. And being from the area, you know, but it doesn't. So why don't you tell them what the actual thing is?
So George Shotgun Shuba was a Major League Baseball player.
Yes.
He played for the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. But Shotgun Shuba is also known for something else. He is known to be the ball player that was at the plate when Jackie Robinson hit a home run. He was the first at the plate to shake his hand. That's right, shook his hand. And that's called the handshake of the century.
That's right.
All related to, Robinson being the first African American to play Major League Baseball and all that stuff. So that statue that they have down there is of them shaking hands.
Yes.
And George Shuba, Shotgun Shuba, is buried in Calvary Cemetery.
Yes.
And we went to his grave.
We did.
Okay, so you think he's on the other side?
Uh-huh.
Right?
I know he's on the other side, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. This is St. Dominic's.
Yep.
It should be just about halfway down on this side, I think, on like upper deck, maybe 4 up ish. Should be coming up on it. Maybe we're in the wrong spot. Maybe it's not this one. Maybe it's the next one.
I know it's on this side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Right here.
There it is. Wait, I was right.
Right there.
Just
So
missed him.
1, 2, 3, 4 up.
So just like I thought, 4 up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 up is his. Right there. And
24, 2014.
if we're looking, there's the end of it. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 down and 4 up. So 4 over, sorry, from the right,
Yeah.
and 4 up.
It has this picture.
Yes.
There's more details about that in our book, but that's the summary of it.
Okay.
We have one more to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. And that is a gentleman, I'm sure all of you guys have heard by this guy named John F. Kennedy. And no, he's not buried in Calvary Cemetery.
No, I think everybody knows where he's buried.
Right. However, there is a tie to Calvary Cemetery with JFK.
There is.
Do you know what the PT-109 was?
Of course I know what the PT-109 was. That was the famous boat incident that made JFK really super important to the military and
Right.
therefore got him kind of
Well,
seen
he
and noticed.
published a book about it, and he saved his crew and all
Yep.
that other stuff. His executive officer was a gentleman named of Leonard Thom. Okay, spelled Thom. They were great friends. Of course, all the guys on PT-109 were great friends.
Yeah, they all really hung out together
Yeah,
and
yeah, including
continued
JFK.
after their service to
Right.
really.
So after the incident, JFK was released from the military and he went home. He was actually in the hospital, in and out of the hospital and stuff like that. And Thom stayed in the military, got command of his own boat, and his wife at the time, well, actually, he married her on leave, okay? And then he came back on another leave, and then they were expecting and all that other stuff like that. So Leonard Thom was actually from Sandusky, okay? He was actually almost a professional football player, too. He was very famous for that.
Okay.
But his wife stayed in Youngstown with her family while he was still serving in the military because she was expecting. Okay? Well, they got married before he was expecting. But JFK was supposed to come to their wedding, but they couldn't because he was in the hospital. All right. So then, during one of his visits, or after he got out of the military, one or the other, Catherine was his wife's name, and Lenny, she called him Lenny, and the other members of the PT-109 were invited up for Labor Day up to the Kennedy compound and spent the weekend. So Catherine and Leonard met all the sisters and brothers and senior and everybody like that.
Yeah, the whole Kennedy family.
Yeah, got to be friends. And Catherine's from Youngstown. JFK kind of felt bad because he couldn't make it to their wedding, you know. So that was like the invite. Let's invite everybody up and celebrate Labor Day. Okay. So eventually, Lenny got out of the service, and Catherine was expecting their second child. So he decided he was going to go back to school at Ohio State and get his master's degree. And he was working insurance in Columbus. So on the weekends, he would drive back to Youngstown and stayed there during the week and drive back and forth. And then Catherine's brother was also going to OSU, and a friend was going to OSU. On October 4th of 1946, they were driving back to Youngstown, and just outside of Deerfield, they got hit by a train. Now, Leonard didn't die instantly. He was more concerned about the young guys being saved. Now, here's a guy that was in the military, served in the military, in the accident, PT 109, went out on all this other stuff, gets hit by a train. So he's taken to Ravenna Hospital, and he died, I think, the next day. Is it the next day? Yeah. Sometime close. Ravenna Hospital. He passed away. When John Kennedy heard about what happened, he called Catherine and said, "I'll be there." Now, he was already on his campaign to be a congressman. He put his campaign on hold. He came to Youngstown, was a pallbearer at Leonard Thom's funeral.
Yeah.
Who's buried in Calvary Cemetery. Mm-hmm. So that's the tie to JFK. In 1946, JFK was at Calvary Cemetery as a pallbearer for Leonard Thom. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to Leonard Thom's grave.
We're at the gravesite of Leonard Thom.
Be just up here past Williams.
Yeah, we actually parked right in front of it. And the last time we were here, we didn't pay attention.
Two.
This is like
Oh, Catherine.
stands for second husband. No, that's a daughter. You know, maybe this summer, if we want to get out of the house, maybe we'll come down here and clean those up again if nobody's been here. Look, big hole right there.
Okay, we got one more to talk about. It's in Calvary Cemetery, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the gentleman's name?
That would be Dr. Louis E. Rampona,
Yeah. Now we can't find a picture of him.
which is super strange based on his death date.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked when we looked and we looked and we looked. So if somebody out there is watching this, and you have something that we can look
Yeah.
at, I'd love to have a picture of him, see what he looked like. But send it to us or leave us a comment down below about it. But who was Dr. Lewis?
He was
Rampona.
actually a physician, and he was actually the physician for, get this, Einstein and Oppenheimer. Crazy. Two super important, major, famous scientists that I teach about. He was their doctor, and he's buried like right down the street from where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the gravesite of Dr. Louis Edward Rampona.
Yes. It's right here.
Family.
Yes.
What's so important?
What's so important is he was actually the doctor for Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer, which is very exciting for a science person for me.
Sorry, I swallowed a bug.
Yeah, they are flying around a little bit here today.
All stirred up.
Yes.
However, we cannot find any information on Dr. Louis E. Rampona.
But we did find out his middle name is Edward. And I did find his death note is sort of kind of in a registry of who died in the state of New Jersey. So I did find his name there and the date of his birth and the date of his death. But we can't find any pictures of him, which is really strange for somebody who died in 1986 to not have photos.
Something.
Yes. But this is his family plot. And there's his mom, Francis, and his dad, Ralph. And again, their family plot here.
I actually thought that this was going to be difficult to find, but not really. In the corner, you pointed at it like, oh, there it is.
Yep. It helps with the big family plot, I don't know, backdrop. I don't know what you would call that exactly.
Are we both taking video?
We are. Hi, sweetie. Okay, so we're leaving Rampona, which it looks like, according to the signs here, Find a Grave has the wrong section for him.
We'll have to go in and petition a change for Find a Grave because, well, see, that says section 27 right there. So they didn't, whoever put them in Find a Grave, I'm
Didn't.
not bashing people in Find a Grave, but they didn't like do the research. It's actually section 22G or something like that.
20G, I think it is.
Okay.
I took a picture of the sign that's right near it.
Okay. So I'm going to turn around here.
Yeah, because I anticipated it was going to be right here based on the picture
So
of the
this
map.
down here at the street is, don't go through the windshield, it's gross. This right here is, that's
Bella
the street
Vista.
that we drive going to work, Bella Vista, coming here. But there's another entrance into the cemetery. Go down to that, it's at the far end. Hopefully we can find it through the cemetery. We'll see.
Yeah. So this is the office, and according to the map and what Find a Grave had in, I anticipated it was going to be for Rampona right here, because this is section 27 here on the left. But that's okay. We're just going to have it adjusted. If you just keep going down there, now it's going to be down here on the left, just past that white car. So you can see it right there on the end. It's the big Rampona symbol there. Alright.
So that's what we did for
amazing.
Memorial Day. Is we went to find his grave, which was kind of simple to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, did some filming.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So like I said, we don't have very much information about him, though. We can't find like a biography
Right.
or anything about him, or even a picture. It's
I
kinda
mean,
strange.
I found some interesting things. Like I was able to find his social security number and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that, but I can't find a picture of him or anything.
Yeah.
But I did find the information in one of the scanned documents from the year he died, from the county where he died.
the certificate.
It wasn't the certificate. It was like a listing of everybody who died that year.
Okay.
So I did find that his information there.
All right, Calvary Cemetery does have some paranormal stuff, just the typical stuff. We don't have a story associated with the cemetery. Just some of the typical, voices been caught on EVPs and obelisks.
Right? Yes.
And of course, that feeling of being watched. Every time I go to the cemetery, I'm always thinking, like, who's looking at me? Although this time we were there, it was just so busy. There was somebody. I mean, everywhere. There were people everywhere at Calvary compared to Oak Hill.
Yeah.
It was crazy busy Memorial Day. But, okay, so that's the paranormal. Personal experiences.
I've been going to the cemetery for most of my life, like since second grade. My grandfather was buried there when I was in second grade, and so we kind of have gone there for years since then.
It was cool, though. It was just within... Well, we knew about E.T., but within this past year, we found out about Shuba, Thom, and...
Rampona.
This past year.
That's true. Yeah.
Which was interesting. And we drive by them every day.
Yeah.
The fact that JFK was there.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Like...
Yeah, we walked where
that cemetery is so close to us.
Yeah.
Like, we could say, hey, we'll stop over and get some coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually where I learned how to drive.
Really?
It is.
That explains a lot.
My mother took me there to teach me how to drive. It wasn't apparent the day we were there, but she told me that everybody there was already dead. I couldn't hurt anyone
Because
there.
you couldn't hurt anybody. Except for the things.
Yeah, so.
All right. Anything else you want to add? Or was that it?
That was it.
Okay. So I guess we'll wrap this one up. All right, folks. Till next time.
Thanks for watching.
And happy hunting. Let us know if you like this video by hitting that thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to see more videos from us in the future, support our channel by hitting that subscribe button and dinging that bell so you get notified the next time there's a video from Panic D Videos.
Thanks for watching.
Happy hunting.